There's a home right now sitting at 87 days on the market. No offers and a price reduction that didn't need to happen. Not because the home was overpriced, but because it was rushed onto the market before it was ready. And that first week on the market, that's the one you never get back. The momentum that you build in those first 7 days shapes everything that follows: the showings, the offers, and the final sales price. So here's what I've learned after staging hundreds of homes. Most agents aren't losing time by delaying listings. They're losing it by not delaying it. If you're a real estate agent who wants lower days on the market and listings that generate referrals because of the results that you actually achieve, this is for you. I'm going to walk you through a simple 3-question benchmark that tells you before you ever go live whether that home is ready or whether a short pause can completely change the outcome. A home that sits even 14 days starts to collect a question mark. What's wrong with it? That question doesn't go away with a price drop. It actually gets louder. The buyers who were most excited about that home, well, they came and went in the first week. And when your first week's momentum is strong, it creates competition, and competition creates strong offers. When your first week's presentation is weak, it creates hesitation, and hesitation creates waiting, and waiting creates price reductions. The listing window opens once, and how a home shows up day one determines the trajectory of the entire sale. So before the listing goes live, there are 3 questions worth asking, and how you answer them will tell you everything you need to know about your timing. Question 1. Would a buyer emotionally connect with this home in the first 30 seconds? Buyers don't think their way into a home, they feel their way in. And if the answer to that question is anything other than a clear yes, the home is not ready. Question number 2. Are there obvious distractions pulling attention away from the home itself? Clutter, odors, dark rooms, unfinished projects, awkward layouts. Buyers notice that stuff before they notice the features. And when a buyer is mentally editing instead of emotionally connecting, they're also mentally discounting the price. Question 3. Will the listing photos make someone stop scrolling and book a showing immediately? Photos are the first showing. They have been for years. If the home wouldn't photograph beautifully today, then it's not market ready today. Great photos build momentum before the first car pulls into the driveway. Run through these 3 questions on every listing. They cut through the noise fast. Since we are talking about presenting listings the right way, well, that involves having the hard conversations that most agents just don't want to have. So I put together the top 5 tough conversations agents dread with exactly what to say. If you've ever struggled to tell a seller their home isn't ready, grab that guide. The link is in the description. But knowing those 3 questions is only the half of it. What happens when you skip them is where the consequences start showing up. Let me share an example with you that we experienced a few months back. A home set on the market for 107 days. No offers, low showings, and the seller who was frustrated and losing trust in their agent. The agent reached out to see if staging could help get more eyes on the property. We went in, staged it, and it was under contract in 9 days. Not 9 weeks, 9 days. That's not a marketing problem that got solved. That was a preparation problem that finally got addressed. And here's the part that stings. None of those 107 days needed to happen. This wasn't a vacant investment property, it was an occupied home. The idea that occupied homes don't need preparations is one of the most expensive assumptions in the business. Every day that home sat was a day that the seller's confidence dropped, the agent's credibility took a hit, and the final number moved in the wrong direction. The short delay for preparation would have cost them nothing and saved them everything. Which brings up the conversation most agents avoid, and why avoiding it is actually the thing that costs clients the most. So here's the part worth sitting with. Rushing a listing to market because a seller wants to sell fast is not serving that seller. It's doing the exact opposite. The days you might lose to preparation are nothing compared to the weeks, sometimes months, you rack up when the home sits. Most homes don't need more marketing before they go live. They need better positioning. More social posts, more ads, more exposure on a home that isn't ready just means more people see a home they won't buy. Having that honest conversation before the listing goes live, even when it's uncomfortable, is an important part of the job. Agents who are willing to have the hard conversations build the kind of reputations that generates referrals. Agents who skip it are hoping the market will bail them out, and it usually doesn't. Your clients hired you to get the best results, not the fastest list date. Before any listing goes live, ask yourself the 3 questions. Would a buyer emotionally connect with this home in the first 30 seconds? Are there obvious distractions pulling attention away from the home itself? And would the listing photos make someone stop scrolling and book a showing immediately? If the answer to any one of them isn't a clear yes, a short pause is worth the conversation. That conversation is the difference between a listing that builds your reputation and one that quietly chips away at it. The agents who protect the first week on the market are the ones whose clients are calling them friends and saying, you have to use her, you have to use him. That's the result worth working for. Now that you know how to protect the listing window, you're going to want to know whether if staging is actually worth it and what the numbers say. Click on the video on screen and I'll show you right now.